This Saturday is the enduro race at the Estevan Motor Speedway. As the name implies, an enduro race is about endurance. We'll take 30 or 40 old junky cars and stick them out on the track and let them race for an hour and a half or 150 laps, whichever comes first. And you're allowed to bump and hit each other. And so the goal is you've just got to get to the end of the race, and then you'll likely do pretty well, right? You've got to learn to endure. I've run in that race a couple of times. The first time I went, I thought I was just going to race as hard as I could. And so I went out and passed everyone I could and hit everybody I could. And at lap 74, I put a hole in my transmission pan, and then I was done. So that didn't work out very well. I only made it about halfway. The second time I went out, I had a plan. I thought I was just going to go really slow. I was going to stay out of trouble. I was just going to wait until everybody else had wiped themselves out, and then I would be there at the end to win. But again, it's hard to drive around letting people pass you, right? And so I started racing people, and when I started racing people, then I got into their incidents. A guy spun out in front of me, and then I T-boned him, and then somebody ran in behind me and wrecked my car. My car was folded up front to back, and I was done again. This time only in 40 laps. Now here's the thing, if I had just stayed out of trouble, if I hadn't got in other people's mess, I would have been fine. But because I decided to go out and mix it up with everybody, and when somebody else got it into a problem, then I was part of his issue. Lots of times in life, that's what happens to us too, right? A lot of the frustrations we have aren't because we have issues, but because we've kind of muddled around in somebody else's issue. We've been drawn into their drama and their problems, and they're upset, and now we're upset. And if I just learned to do my own thing, I would have been better. If I would have just decided how I wanted to be, things would have been different. And that's actually sort of what the Apostle Paul talks to the Galatian church about in Galatians chapter 6. He says in verse 9, "Let us not become weary in doing good." Let us not become weary in doing good, because that is a temptation, right? It's easy to, after you've been doing good things for a long time, to think, I'm sick of this. I don't want to do it anymore. But he says endure, keep going, keep doing the good you know you should do. He says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will receive a harvest. Something good will happen if we keep doing the good we know we ought to do, if we just endure with it, if we just keep going. He says, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. The most important thing is that we keep doing good, that we don't get weary, that we don't just give up on that. Right now, it would be an easy time to give up because people are grouchy and people are discouraged and everybody's upset about something, it seems, and there's lots of drama to get caught up in, and it'd be easy to get discouraged right now. But this is the time we really need to endure, because this is when good people are needed the most. This is when our good actions are needed the most. This is when God's love needs to be seen the most. Can we be the people who learn the lesson from the Estevan Motor Speedway that says the winners are those who endure? Regardless of how hard it is, can you keep going forward? Can you keep focused on the good things? Can you keep doing the right things? Can you not grow weary? Can you be around for the harvest? Can you see the good things that will come at the end if you do not give up?